What if I told you that everything we've seen in Fortnite up to this point has been building up not only for Fortnite's storyline, but for a way for Fortnite to remain around eternally for all conceivable futures? Now, I know that sounds a little bit weird. It's like, this is a Battle Royale game. But what if Fortnite doesn't have to be a Battle Royale game? What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's YouTube video. Now, this all relates to a tweet I had actually seen earlier today by Licks over on Twitter, which goes back to the 0 Point comics. For anyone who doesn't remember, the 0 Point comics were a Marvel, I guess DC x Fortnite comic series, which had 5 different issues, and it was a whole entire way of them telling a brand new story under a new lens and all that type of stuff, while also continuing to build out the magical world that is Fortnite and revealing some interesting bits of lore through it. However, one of the images from one of the panels, I don't know if it's exactly from the DC one or from the Marvel collaboration they did comic-wise, was this right here. As you can see, we have Drift, we have the Viking, and then we have like the fruit or food area with like a female tomato head. We have a pepper, or maybe like corn or something. We have, oh, I guess not corn, but like a carrot or something. And we have some interesting things. It mentions right here, countless realities originated from the 0 Point, each its own universe, its own multiverse. Ordinarily, these realities would rarely, if ever, intersect. In this small image right here, the single panel from a comic is the secret sauce for how Fortnite can remain relevant for absolutely ever. I mean, as we see here, based on the actual lore here, while there are some characters created in Fortnite, Reality Zero Land or whatever else, there are a lot of characters who have been rifted in from their own realities into Fortnite's reality in order to start building off this whole entire storyline, which means there's a lot of characters who have hidden lore that we don't even know to this day. I know, like, the main focus when it comes to Fortnite lore is obviously like, oh, the 7, the IO, oh, the last reality, all that type of stuff, but really it's more than just that, because if you think about it, we have all these characters with little bits of backstory to them. We've even had item shop skin sets that have released and had like a trio of cosmetics or whatever, all a part of the same universe and everything, all outside of the main Fortnite Reality Zero zone originally, but we never got any more information on them. And I mean, if you think about it, there's thousands of skins at this point, to the fact, to like, the point where Epic Games could go ahead and one day try pulling a unique little system where they're like, you know what, we want to go ahead and build off of, for example, Drift's lore. So they make, maybe a darker themed open world story game, similar to things like Batman Arkham Knights or something along those lines, because of the whole entire theme you got going on there. You'd have it where Drift is kind of, trying to like do crime or something, while spraying graffiti everywhere else because of whatever is going on in his world. Maybe there's a corrupt government or something along those lines, right? There's a lot of ways for them to actually go about it, and a lot of things they could actually do, and I think it all relates to not just, video games, not just Fortnite that we're playing today, but to their own storytelling techniques and how they can continue evolving it going forwards. And I know that might sound weird. It's like, what do you mean not just Fortnite? Well, as I just mentioned, they could put Drift in his own game, but another place I feel that Fortnite could eternally stay around is by going ahead and making their own comics. And I don't mean like a collaboration comic with Marvel or DC like they've been doing. I mean, you get some writers together, you get some artists together, you have the talent right there, and you make your own comic. You don't have to do a TV show, a cartoon, a movie, or anything like that. You could go ahead and do your own comic series, and instead of having it related just to the 0 Point or whatever, have it being relating to the characters' lives before they got rifted into Reality Zero. And I know that kind of sounds like a cracked in theory or something. It's like, FireMonkey, you're just like, go ahead, do comics, do games, make an entire another game. But if we're really focusing on it, that's kind of what Epic Games has been doing recently, right? I mean, if we pay attention, behind the scenes, they've been working on the Del Mar racing mode. That isn't Battle Royale, that is a main focus on racing. That is not a core aspect Fortnite's been known of. You don't go and download Fortnite because, oh boy, I want to race other people in a whiplash. No, you download it because you either want to play creative mode, you want to play Save the World, or you want to play Battle Royale. But they're still working on these other ideas and these other concepts and stuff where it's like they have these characters built up to the perfect point where they could take any character they wanted from the game, right? They could take Sergeant Green Clover, the skin I'm wearing, they could take Leviathan, they could take any skin that's released that is their own original skin and give it its own lore that had never existed before, or build up an entire world related to that one character that wasn't there before, right? You'll have little glimpses and stuff here and there, like we mentioned from the comic panel, where it's like, oh hey, Drift was kind of in this darker world, the tomato heads and everything were all kind of like combined together in this own like food themed world or whatever else, but you have a lot of aspects there where you could literally take a single character from the game, write an entire story or an entire 5-issue comic, you know, however many issue comics, even a one-shot comic or anything like that, and create something that is just a masterpiece to actually do. Now, regarding if Epic Games will ever do that, we don't know. Of course, it's something that they've kind of built up at and they could do if they ever wanted to, but it's not something that's like a guarantee, right? I can't go to sleep right now being like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a 500-issue Drift comic, you know, Drift's gonna become its own main Batman or something like that. I can't guarantee that to you guys, but what I can say is that they've built up their stuff in a way where the story can tell itself in a million different ways. We obviously have the main Battle Royale story, but there's the prequel stories for every single character that's made its way to Battle Royale. They've dabbled in comics before, they've dabbled into the actual game storyline telling with, you know, events and everything else. They've done all that type of stuff. Now they just need to take those efforts, put a little bit of money, I know, you know, it depends on their spending and everything else, and make a feasible, you know, comic issue. And I think, you know, maybe the whole entire Marvel and DC comics could have been a test for them, because, you know, sure, on one hand, it's like an official comic, you know, from already settled brands for comics and like movies and all that type of stuff, but on the other hand, you're sitting there in a point where it's like, okay, you have the data to tell if these type of things sell, and if they're selling well, then you know that you can go ahead and potentially wipe off the Marvel coding on it, wipe off the DC coding on it, wipe off all that extra grease or whatever else, and make your own Fortnite original comic. And I mean, I know people will joke about stuff all the time whenever you see Fortnite branded merch or whatever, like, oh, I don't want to pay $50 to have the Fortnite logo on my chest. And I get that, but at the same time, there's a difference between having a Fortnite logo on your chest and having a unique thing that you're able to actually kind of delve into more that isn't just a brand sponsorship in a way, right? Because I've seen some Fortnite merch, you know, they sell them in places like Japan and everything else, which will be a character from Fortnite or whatever, but without the logo on it, right? It'll be more of just a plain design of Pilly with you know, like a little thing going on, whatever there, and those are really cool. Like, I can actually see myself buying those, right? It's just when you slap a giant Fortnite logo over top of it, sometimes, you know, people think it's a little bit cringe, but when you go ahead and decide, yeah, this is Fortnite, but at the same time, it's not just the logo with a character placed on top of it or whatever else, but it's a whole entire comic, it's a whole entire book, whatever else, then that's when it leaves that whole entire, like, cringe zone. Sure, maybe some people will still be like, oh, that's cringe, you have a Fortnite merch? But at the same time, you're entering the zone where it's like, okay, you know, you have this Fortnite original thing, you may see a little small Fortnite logo or something, but it's not Fortnite plastered on top of it, right? You have like the Fortnite Origins or whatever, Drift Edition or something like that, right? And it's just going to be a way for them to keep their game alive and to keep growing it permanently throughout all the years. And it's something that I really have been kind of thinking about recently, especially after I saw that image, right? Because I was wondering, like, will Fortnite be around forever? You know, when it comes to the thing about Battle Royale, you might think that Battle Royale days are dated, and you know, that makes sense. UEFN is becoming a more and more masterful thing that a lot of people are using. I mean, I'm with Good Gamers and they recently released Murder Mystery, which has been a lot of fun and honestly a great way to gain XP, and you kind of think about, okay, if Battle Royale isn't going to be the focus, and the focus is going to be more on the user-generated content going forwards, what could Epic Games do to continue getting some extra revenue now that they have their hands a little bit more free, not having to focus 100% on this or that? And I think that doing comics or, you know, more story-based things regarding the specific characters that aren't in the line of collaborations or whatever could be an amazing way to actually continue growing the game's franchise while also continuing to build on different characters and build up these lores to the point where maybe one day we do get a standalone like Drift game or Tomato Head game or whatever else. But of course, I would love to hear in the comments, what do you guys think about this whole entire situation? Do you think this is something that we should keep an eye on going forwards? Do you think it's something that Epic Games themselves is even going to focus on or try doing? Or do you think they're just going to continue being like, UEFN and Fortnite Battle Royale, baby, 24/7, woohoo! Personally, for me, I feel that, you know, it is kind of a little bit of a stretch to go over here and be like, this is going to be Fortnite's future, but at the same time, if done correctly, we could see a future where Fortnite isn't just a game, right? Fortnite is a whole entire franchise with a lot of brands or whatever underneath it, similar to how, you know, DC has multiple characters underneath it, Marvel has multiple characters underneath underneath it. Fortnite could be a serving point for multiple characters getting their own stories, getting their own comics, and a lot of stuff. And let's be honest here, regardless of what you think about Fortnite physical items like a comic or whatever else, people are still going to buy it. I mean, it's Fortnite, right? And people are going to want to buy it. I mean, there's a lot of people over on Twitter who to this day spend like every waking moment going ahead and trying to figure out all of the Fortnite lore bits and pieces, and they want to make sure that they're able to figure out everything going on, all of Epic Games' secret plans with the lore in this universe. So it's something where people are 100% going to want to purchase all these things in order to not only see these characters' unique own universes, but to also connect it back to real life or connect it back to Fortnite itself in order to make this main storyline that is coherently, you know, going through every single character, going through all their lores and all their stories and bringing them into Fortnite and showcasing how it all led up to the point we are currently at in the storyline. But with that said, my name is FireMonkey. Let me know in the comments down below, of course, what you thought about this video. And until next time, this is why I think that Fortnite could be a game or could be a franchise that would stay alive forever. Peace out.